and I'll have a look at another
I'll
time.
send that to you. I'll
Cheers, thank
Facebook that way.
Thank you.
I picked up all of the Dark Imperial Marines already assembled. They're not specially based; they just put their own bases, and they're all done. And some of them will start being painted. 38 quid to save me the assembly, and it's cheaper than I could buy them retail without buying Dark Imperial box set, which is obviously 90 odd and more.
I got 2 of those Retributors in that like how to build collect boxes just to see what the models are like. And they're really nice. But
what's a Retributor?
From Age of Sigmar.
Oh, right.
Sigmarines.
The problem I've got at the moment is that I can't really make too much of a comment on this because of the model that should be on screen now.
Well, I'm focused on Kurt, so I can't see anything. Let's have a look.
Stop talking.
There we go.
No, I actually clicked on you, Kurt, so I was just watching.
That just means you're a terrible human being, Benj.
No, I can see it, but you're not very high resolution.
Okay.
Oh, shut up, Benj.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
It will be the leader of the Skaven gang for Shadespire.
Right. I couldn't see I couldn't see it for long enough because he kept talking.
Just click on Mike. Now I see Mike.
I have my hands full of actually hobbying.
Yeah. Kurt is actually doing more than either of us at this moment.
No, I've got hands full of magic cards.
That's not hobby.
It is. It's a hobby.
No, it's not hobby.
Your bank account.
Bankruptcy in card format.
It is. I spent £20 on 2 booster packs.
Oh wow, Jesus!
And then you have the audacity to moan about this Space Marine character is a bit expensive.
This massive foot-tall knight thing is.
There was a chance.
£80.
There was a chance to pull an Imperial recruiter that would have been worth £70, but it's a very slim chance. It's like the lottery.
So what you're saying is basically you'd have done a bet as well had you gone down Ladbrokes.
I guess so. It is, but yeah. Okay. I don't know. I met a new person who wants to play Commander, which is cool. Which is good because I'm terrible at making friends these days. But he was quite a nice chap.
It gets harder as you get older, Mark.
Door, can you lay that on? So you know.
Well, I missed that bit because Kurt was agreeing with me, and I agree with Kurt. But you then started jibber jabbing. What did you?
I was being snarky, Benj. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, snarky. Right.
Yeah.
Fucking people are hard work. No, that comes out wrong, doesn't it? Fucking people.
Well, apparently, it might do afterwards. I can't say. It depends on the person, Ben.
So it's like I'm doing socializing wrong.
I think you are.
Fucking people. It's just so.
If they're calling the police before you've even left the room, I think something's not right.
Yeah.
Have we learned lessons about making comments, Benj?
What, speaking English?
Yes.
Without filters, yeah. I guess all punctuation.
That's the trouble with podcasting.
Punctuation.
I'm just talking to people that I know and know me really well, so I can say what I like. Oh, fuck.
It's all right. Only 3 people and 18,000 Russian bots listen to us. So.
True, those 3 people are. True, yeah.
I was going to say, I had a thing. Yes, I want to talk about BonesCon.
Good.
Because, yeah, that's coming back.
Oh, is it really?
It's coming back, or is it?
Well, it's not been announced yet.
Okay.
You just did that.
But the weekend started very much with John's point of view of this has to be the end. I can't do this again. This is ruining my life.
Yes.
To at the end of the weekend going
nice.
Right. So I'll get in touch with you guys over the next couple of months.
Oh no!
What's out the next one? It's exactly the same formula I've seen from almost every single convention I've ever been to. It was amazing.
I didn't know that bit. I assumed it was all done.
Yeah. So,
that's cool,
what was actually really good is, I mean, I was only in the casual play bit, so that felt a little emptier. But we worked out why. We had about the same number of people as last year.
Bigger space.
Twice the space.
Where was the other bit of space then, or was it? Because
the other, I mean, the what's the name of the hotel?
Hilton.
Hilton.
Hilton Metropole.
The Hilton can just swallow like huge numbers of people. So
yeah, true. We have been there. Yeah.
You just get lost in there.
Okay.
But yeah, the comp room was like the next to 1 or 2 along, in a room I don't think I've ever seen before. But
are they decorated yet?
No, the Hilton still very much looks like the Hilton.
Oh God!
Do we talk about the Welsh as well, since that's coming soon?
We can indeed talk about the Welsh.
I do like the Welsh. I've been for a few years.
Has Martin ever appeared on here? It'd be quite interesting to hear Martin speak.
Not for a long time.
I don't think he ever has, actually.
No.
Oh, we have some YouTube chat from Byron and Matt. So, hello.
Byron,
if he has, it was a long time ago.
Byron is the judge.
Yep, he is the head judge of the Welsh Masters, which I keep calling the Welsh Open accidentally.
I call it national still, Welsh national. But that's
Welsh is
Welsh
obviously a good thing.
An entirely different thing, Benj.
No, Welsh. Someone used to call it the Welsh Nationals.
No, it's never been the Welsh Nationals.
I think that Welsh.
I think that was Dean that fucked up though.
Yeah, it was the Welsh Open, and it had some weird and wacky formats in the early days.
Yes.
I think I started going at the second one.
I think we started going at the same time, didn't we? I think, yeah.
Yeah, roughly. Did you go?
Yeah, we started going to events the same year, didn't we? So we ended up going to the Welsh, I think, at the same time.
Yeah, it was like 3 games at 50 points, 3 games at 35.
Oh yeah.
You've got to have 6 different lists. What the hell was going on?
Your mum has to have painted at least 30% of your army.
Yeah, that was the one where I basically almost table flipped against Dean, because Butcher's feet. I mean, it was a slim chance to pull off this whole thing anyway. But Butcher's feet meant that I killed a jack that I was going to throw at his caster.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I've told the story about half a dozen times. And it basically ended with Butcher on no focus in front of Dean's army going, come on. Like, this will end not well at all. So, still armor 18, but when you've got multiple warjacks in front of you, that will not end well.
Gonna be a bad day.
So, okay. So we've got a bit on Welsh Masters, we've got a bit on Bones Con. I intend to talk about a game I haven't played yet, but intend to, which is Shades by, because it looks... I'll do that as hobby, though. Because, frankly, I've put together these GW plastics, and... Yeah.
Amazing.
They've made some really nice models that I think if I hadn't been bothered, I could have done without glue.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely shocking. I mean, there was one...
Do you see what I mean? I said before, do you see what I mean? When you go back to GW now, the quality difference is unbelievable. And I would not... If you told me, I would not have believed you.
Well, this is the thing as well. I assembled them, right? And almost straight away, I looked at the Skaven gang and went, oh, actually, yeah, I could do that bit silver, a little bit of tin bits in there, put some green over there. I was like, oh yeah, I feel incentivized to actually do something because there's no expandability to any of the groups.
So no, there isn't, but yeah.
Just 5 models or 3 or whatever. And then I looked at how it played and it's like, okay, so what you've done is you've taken the dice and pitch element of Blood Bowl.
Okay.
But then put objective-based gameplay on top with a build-a-deck element.
Okay.
So,
I've not played it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Imagine if you got Blood Bowl, but instead of having the 2 goal lines, you've got 6 objectives that are kind of randomized around the board, and you decide your deck of objectives and your deck of sort of add-ons and ability cards to synergize with your characters. So, you know, there might be an undead group that says, you know, if there's no one in your half of the board, because they can really jam you up, if there's no one in your half of the board, then you score some command points. Oh, is it 5 objectives? Sorry, Matt's correcting me. 5 objectives. Some objectives. But anyway, we can talk about this later, because frankly, this is good content.
Yes, we should do that.
It's not like we don't have any other content. Do we have any content?
We do. I just said we got Bones Con, we got the Welsh Masters.
I know, but how long will that keep us going?
And then all the...
At least 5 or 6 minutes, Benj.
Sweet.
And then follows what is now becoming the traditional GW fanboy section as we gradually get sucked back into GW in a massive way,
really
having not played it in 10 years.
I can't honestly believe it, really.
I'm coming around to believing it, but I've been into a GW store a few times in the last month, twice in the last month.
No, I can still walk out of there. Fine. I can.
Well,
I went in there. I went in there and I said, "No, it's not payday," and the guy lost all interest in me. So
I don't spend 200 quid like I used to, but I still spend money.
What in GW?
Yeah.
I can walk into any hobby store and I can comfortably spend as much as I can think of. So
I used to drop a serious amount of money when I walked into a GW when I felt like it, but now I go in and I go, I'm going to buy this pot of paint and this model, and then yeah.
Well, this is actually one of the things I like about Trade Spark.
I don't mean this model, by the way. I wouldn't have afforded this model.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas present.
Trade Spark, in that you buy the box, which is like 35 quid or something like that. Then, okay, you've got everything for that. If you want to buy another gang, you buy the box for that gang, which is anywhere from 12 to 15 quid. That's it.
We could just start if we know if we have any kind of a
Stop.
because I can't think of anything else we need to do before that really.
No. Hello and welcome to Elite Cadre, the War Machine Hordes podcast that frequently isn't.
Are we going to start?
Yeah, we're going to start.
Okay, all right, sorry.
You starting?
Always.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, we are back after a month's hiatus because we were all busy.
gotta be starting something. I missed that earlier. Sorry.
I think you were busy.
I was busy. Kurt, I think you're perennially busy, so that's fine. And Benj was Benj. See, what happened was we kind of suggested dates that we might want to run, and then Benj went, "No, I'm going to go and play Magic."
Hey, yeah.
Is perennially the one that's twice a year?
I blame it. It's my fault.
When I say play Magic, what I mean is you're going to open boosters.
No, I don't do boosters. Right. Let's
look, they're all so pretty.
Just open them up, sniffs inside, and it just fills him full of that little tingly sense again until his next hit.
Okay, no, I don't do
5 minutes
boosters normally. This was Masters 25, and I wanted to see if I could either pull a Jace or an Imperial Recruiter, which means nothing to you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, this all sounds like the teacher from Charlie Brown.
But I could have been £100 better off with either one of those cards, so I thought I'd gamble.
Okay.
Oh, so it's lottery with pretty cards.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they are pretty.
The first thing about solving your addiction, Ben, is realizing you have one.
I know I have an addiction. I know I have a problem.
Have we changed topic now, or is it the same one?
No, we're having an intervention.
We're pretty much the same thing.
Oh, it's intervention.
Oh, really? I thought this was an intervention.
Oh, actually, I've just realised I can actually do a giveaway in this episode.
What?
I actually have in my hand a surprise member gift for the Privateer Press online store, which is $10 off any purchase of $20 or more.
Is that just because we're not playing Privateer Press games anymore?
No, I don't use the Privateer Press online store. So there you go. There's the thing. If anyone wants code BRM for Mother 04, then you can have $10 off any purchase of $20 or more at the PP online store.
Would that even cover free shipping? Probably not.
You have to put a disclaimer on this because at the time of publication of this,
yeah, it's single use only, and it expires on the 31st of March. So if you want to use it, and if it's being used, oh well, someone got there first.
I think it's just been used by Matt.
Someone listening live, yeah.
Yeah. You know, all it's going to do is sit here and me go, yeah, but I'm not going to order from the store. So I'm not even sure if it's redeemable against Black Anchor. Anyway.
That's a rude word.
Well, don't do anyway. I've been watching too much YouTube.
Bahi. Yes, with the we could do 5 minutes on this. In that we now have this kind of. I suppose the closest equivalent is Forge World. You got Black Anchor Heavy Industries who are producing larger specialist models that I don't think PP ever intends to see retail. And they are, well, for want of a better word, ruinously expensive.
Well, especially in this country with exchange rates.
Yeah. Now, I'll go back to my traditional thing of saying that gaming is not a cheap hobby.
Also, in fairness, we shouldn't complain too much about the exchange rate, considering that we had Forge World on our doorstep with minimal shipping for quite some time compared to the rest of the world. So
Oh,
And
can't we
if you
just
go to places
moan?
like Games Expo, you can just rock up to their stall and go, "I'll have 3 of those, 4 of those."
Yeah.
You know, this stuff just happens. But I mean, what I would say from the costs I've seen, they are not out of the realms of what the RRP always has been. It's just
big.
it's just for the moment you're having to pay RRP, which the UK never has had to do before because all their stores do 10 to 15% off as standard. I can understand that it's caused a good deal of consternation.
Constipation.
Consternation.
Oh, okay.
Good
Both.
grief, Benj.
That's what I've got.
Wow.
Thanks for sharing.
It's all right. Sharing is caring, as pornography has taught everyone.
Clearly, you need either more or less fiber. I don't know.
Let's always go for more.
Yeah. You need some moral fiber for a start.
Yeah, I do. No, it's too late for that. I've lived long enough without it. Fuck it.
So yes, and what do we see? We've seen Scar 3, the Hooch Hauler. Was there another one?
Was there another one?
There was the first one, which we've now seemingly forgotten.
Oh, Dracodile.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Dracodile. Which Dracodile was the first one to come out, and people in the UK got stung for tax, which, if you don't know, adds 20% onto the cost. Plus, thanks to going through Mount Unpleasant in the Royal Mail offices, adds another £8 on top.
8 cocking pounds.
This is the thing. I have ordered from overseas before, and there is a fairly simple procedure that can be done at the other end to prepay the tax. So they add the tax onto your bill there, and you save £8. Why Privateer Press don't implement this, I don't know.
Because they hate you.
Because of the hassle of sending internationally through US Post Office, I suppose.
That might be it. But I've ordered. I order T-shirts occasionally from for my sins from WWE. They allow really easy prepayment, so they even.
I was thinking. So you think about T-shirts. I was thinking about having listened to independent characters podcast, and they were just done a T-shirt offer, and they were just saying about how the effort of sending internationally from a US Post Office. So I don't know, but they were just talking about how much harder work it is and how much more grief it is, how much more grief to get from the post office. So even sending to Canada, apparently.
True.
Don't know though.
Yeah. Either way, there are things that could be done to potentially alleviate a little bit of it. It ends up being a fairly small percentage of the model. I mean, what do we think about the Black Anchor heavy industry stuff in general?
I like the models. I think they look fantastic. They just feel prohibitively expensive, as you said. I mean, Hooch Hauler. I do like the look of the Hooch Hauler. I don't dislike the rules. If it was easy to get hold of, I think in time I might pick one up. But that's an awful lot of money. I don't disagree with the principle because it is. Budget. I don't disagree with the principle of it because I do quite like Forge World, and we've had that a long time now.
Yeah,
it is very similar to the Forge World idea of just doing specialist models at a premium and smaller runs in different materials. It has worked. We are just spoilt with easy access to Forge World. The rest of the world, especially the US, they pay a fortune for Forge World stuff.
Very true. Very true.
I think it would matter more if it was one of my factions. And I'd maybe then feel kind of priced out of the game, because I don't know whether I could justify that amount of money as much as they do justify silly amounts on boosters, as Mike has said. I've never bought anything.
I love the way you're actually preemptively attacking yourself now.
I know, it's fine. It's what I do. It's flagellation. Self.
Just as long as you don't halfway through the podcast just break out and shouting "Hurt me, Daddy," that's fine.
I could do if you want.
Well, he didn't.
It's quite disturbing.
Yeah, that is kind of disturbing.
I think it doesn't. I don't think he prices stuff out of the game. I don't think you worry about that because I look at the Hooch Hauler, and while I like the idea of it, I don't think it's this core amazing miracle win every game for trolls model.
I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about it like that though. More, it's if it is part of my faction as a collector kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Well, I kind of do have some of that. I must have it all kind of idea, but I don't have it entirely.
Hmm.
The one thing I would say is actually giving a bit of thought to it now. Um, for the beginner, this is actually slightly more challenging because I mean we've all seen the range kind of explode in size
Yes.
over the last sort of 5 years. Now you've got models that are a step in price above everything else, and if they are the competitive models, War Machine is very much skewed at the competitive level. Is this an extra barrier to entry?
I'm not sure it is that. I'm not sure it's a barrier to entry because these are kind of elite specialist models. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they are top end. Is Scar 3 ridiculously broken? I have to admit, I don't know.
Scar 3 is quite good. I mean, Matt's already said that.
I was going to say maybe Matt can enlighten us. Yeah.
So clearly already kind of slightly broken. Although Matt has raised an interesting point in that minor models from Forge World weren't originally tournament legal.
Oh, it took a while, didn't it? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean,
actually, even now, there are events that are non-Forge World events, aren't they? But they're less common now. I
mean, you could probably always get away with things like the Death Corps of Krieg and just kind of saying, "Yep, they're Imperial Guard because they're Imperial Guard." But I'd imagine stuff like the more specialist Space Marine tanks and.
But then you've got things like the Contemptor Dreadnought, which, while is a Forge World model and most of them are Forge World models, the rules now are non-Forge World because there is a non-Forge World version, there's a plastics version. So
yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah,
that's a good point though.
But anyway, it's an entire interesting area of discussion. And to be honest, I think that the greatest sign of what's going to happen is just waiting.
Yes.
Because with the greatest one in the world, we've seen, one model delivered from Black Anchor so far?
No, the Hooch Hauler.
Oh, the Hooch Hauler's actually come out, has it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've seen 2 models come out and actually be delivered from Black Anchor. Once they have an entire range, then I think we'll know more what the results will be.
You mean sort of when almost every faction or majority of factions have got something on that range?
Yeah. When you've got your Colossal from the Crucible Guard, and that's only available through Black Anchor. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, it could be.
It could be, and that could be.
Matt's actually gone to another point that I kind of fairly frequently bring up, which is actually. Well, actually, I hadn't heard that was happening. So Matt's saying, does this also lead to the news that PP are stopping 600 SKUs from their domestic shops and having them online or special order only?
I know that.
That's always something that's been debated because the increasing bloat of War Machine means it is much harder for any store to carry.
What are they pulling? The blisters?
I don't know specifically. I would have to say that if you're going to pull anything away from shops, you'll keep your nice light plastic all-in-one units in there. You might keep a couple of UAs and stuff like that.
I think you could look at GW's model to see what they like to pull, and that is most of the blisters.
Yeah.
Look at how many. I mean, maybe you. I assume you remember what GW used to look like. It wasn't a wall of boxes.
No, you're very much right. Well, actually,
and now it is.
This is the problem. I haven't been in a GW store in several years.
It's all boxes. There is a small stand of sprues of specialist kind of solo kind of characters.
Yeah.
It's a very small range compared to all the boxes.
Okay. That's interesting.
I was quite surprised, as you say.
One thing I have heard about... Well, actually, no. I'll discuss that part later because it relates to Shakespeare. So... Yeah, I think that's a discussion on Black Anchor. I think it will develop, to be honest, and I think stopping the PP stopping doing SKUs is kind of part of that. And I think GW kind of always had an unpleasant thing for players that was perhaps healthy for their game, in that every so often they did just axe stuff from the range.
Yeah.
It was gone. It was unplayable, and that was it.
The model can be gone without being unplayable. I mean, now you've got models in rule books that are not available, and models that are in indexes that are available that are not available, but you could build, and just both. They've done
really don't like doing model rules without a physical model.
You say that, don't you? Except they've just done that with guidance on how to build it, which is one of the a leader character model for the Grey Knights.
Yeah,
you can't buy it.
The reason they don't generally like to do it is because they lost a court case on it a few years ago. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay,
missed that.
So this is a thing that happened a few years ago. The Tyrannid book had been out for a while, and one of the sets of rules in there had no model for it. The rules, no model.
Right.
So one of the very many companies that does third-party aftermarket add-ons went, well, why don't we just make one?
Yeah.
So they did, and GW took them to court. Now, the upshot of this was that the court said, well, hang on. You've got a vague description of what your thing is. They're just providing a model that matches up, but it's not a breach of any of your copyrights. So, no. And if you choose to produce something that's designed similarly to theirs,
they could sue you.
They can sue you.
Classic.
So, this is why GW rapidly kind of went along and went, okay, we're not producing a model for that. However, we are producing these new rules for something else that's very similar and making a model for that.
Right.
This is like 2 editions ago now.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 was a mess for Tyranids, so maybe that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're not massive fans. Well, they weren't anyway. I was going to say, they've changed management system entirely since then.
Yeah, very much. It's a brave new world. Yes,
it's very definitely a brave new world. So we'll have to see where PP are going in this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was a diversion I didn't expect. Let's move on to a diversion I did expect, which is talking about BonesCon.
How was it?
Well, see, I went to BonesCon. It was at the Hilton in Birmingham, where you may have seen SmogCon running before. BonesCon is a legally distinct event, which just happens to have a lot of the same staff running it. Well, what's funny, Benj? I don't think I've said anything amusing.
I'm sorry. Deeply sorry.
It was something else. He was looking at a card in a game and he found it amusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the land card that was particularly amusing.
He'd like to tap that.
Nice. I've actually heard that joke before. I can't believe I haven't heard that before.
What? You've never heard that joke? Oh,
I've never heard that joke. I'd like to tap that.
Wow.
Oh dear. Oh.
I don't do card games. I don't mix no circles, and so I don't hear that kind of humour. And I've never had to beat someone to death for doing it.
See, most of what I know of modern magic, I've learned by osmosis off Nick Topham. So
because it's Nick, isn't it?
Yeah. Personally, I blame Nick for a lot of things.
Nick, we blame you for a lot of things, Nick.
But anyway, BonesCon occurred. It was a 3-day event at the Hilton, which had several hundred players there and a lot of different game systems.
The Hilton, that sounds really posh.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Sounds really posh.
Moving on.
So it's also the site of UK Games Expo. Well, part of it anyway. And well known amongst sort of UK wargamers, board gamers, conventions of most kinds, really, because they have a lot of space. This year was very much a change from earlier events that may have shared a management crew. So we went from previously just a Priority Press themed event to BonesCon, which was Priority Press. You'd got Guild Ball there as well. You had We got people from Battle Foam were there supporting some games.
Corvus Belli.
Yes, you did. You had Infinity there as well. You had an area called the Butterfly House, I believe, which is something that spawned out of Old Man Mike on Twitter. And what this is, it's a collection of games for people with a butterfly mentality.
For unique snowflakes.
Yes, quite. So as Matt's just saying, they're playing stuff like Gaslands, Dark Age. There was an intention for a game of 7 TV, but I don't believe that kind of happened because I don't think Mike had quite enough time to get that set up. Yes, there was God Tier was very much in sort of early alpha stages. I mean, that was a game where people were coming in, playing demos of it. They'd come back the next day for another demo, and overnight parts of the rules had been rewritten in response to how the game had been played the previous day. So over the weekend, they were saying they could see like one model who had been nerfed in 4 separate stages.
As people were abusing it.
Yeah. So it was very interesting to see. Now this year we had a huge casual play area, which is kind of the largest space that's available at the Hilton, and the space next to it, which was about 2/3 the size again, was for the competitive play. And now I only really got to see the casual play area, and it was really encouraging to see that people were kind of going, oh, okay, I'll rock up, have a game of War Machine. Oh, but there's a cool demo game over there. There's a game of Gaslands. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Ooh, and they're running demos of this over there. Or they, bring out something else from the car. And it was that coming together of a lot of existing communities of gamers and kind of just having a weekend of fun. And the amount of prizes on offer was truly, truly special. Because we had someone who was basically raiding everyone for every prize they got. We had something like 40 Vallejo paint sets, and I'm not talking like 5 bottles in a box and a half decent brush. I'm talking like 20 odd paints in a box, and it was nice stuff as well. It's the awesome. Vallejo game color. We had like full sets of the Guild Ball kickoff stuff. I'm going to say this now to anyone who was there and saw me at I think it was 11 p.m. on Saturday. So anyone who doesn't know the casual play kind of situation here, you basically got a point for every hour that you played in, and there were some very nice prizes on offer. And we worked out that the earliest point some of these could be claimed, which is like a big battle foam bag or 2,
wow,
a 6x4 table mat, copies of Dark Souls. They were all available at one time, and the swarming that occurred when that hour hit was incredible. I mean, there were only a couple of us on the table. I'll explain the staffing situation in a bit. There were only a couple of us at the table, and we just saw the hordes descend upon the table. And we had to very quickly go, okay, there's far more people than there are prizes. Right, okay. Whoever wants the mat, come and stand by the mat. Whoever wants Dark Souls, come and stand by Dark Souls. Whoever wants the bags, come and stand by the bags. And basically just had to dice off amongst everyone. There were some people who were a bit sad because they missed out. And, oh, well, I've got 30 points that I can't spend on much because the table's been raided other than those things. But it was like, it's a very intimidating feeling to see like 20-odd gamers running full tilt at you, hoping to be the first one to get a Battle Foam bag for free.
Wow. Is that because they all got 30 points because they've racked up 30 hours at the same time?
Yeah. Wow. It was
truly... Because they'd all played all night?
Byron said, yeah, it was good to see from across the room and not be a part of it. Yeah. And Matt said that also there were 40k and Malifaux being played. So, yep. Again, just adding to that whole range of things. One thing that I would say as well, and I'm jumping from topic to topic here because, normally I keep such a coherent thread on these things. This year we had, how to put it, limited staff available. So, in previous years at SmogCon, you would have seen that there were maybe 3 to 4 people doing competitive play, 3 people on the Smog Pit desk at any one time,
Yeah.
and then maybe a couple of other staff wandering around.
Yeah.
And there were 3 shifts a day, and no, that didn't happen for BonesCon. We had 8 people.
Wow.
8 people for the whole convention. The worst part was, it's the most relaxed I've ever been at any of those big conventions.
Wow.
Seriously. Even with those numbers, the numbers were more than the SmogCon that took place at Guildford. And it was a really relaxing weekend. Because...
Can you explain that?
We couldn't figure out why, other than by thinning out the numbers a bit, there's less people to get flustered about any one thing. I mean, we have cut back a lot on some of the admin. So if there's things like, for the casual play area, rather than having a computerized system that we've had in previous, what we got was basically the equivalent of a sheet of paper, an ink pad, and half a potato.
Why half a potato?
Because you can stamp things with it.
Okay.
It was a little bit more sort of involved in that. I think there were the ink stamps that were given away with the Privateer Press Leagues.
Okay. Yeah.
And basically, everyone on their program had a little grid, and they came along and said, "I've played in these hours," and you stamped them. And then when they claim those points, you cross them out, sign them, and there we go. All done. It was really, really simple. I know that Jason as well didn't have too much of a problem with the organised play section of the event. So, yeah, all worked out very well. Now, while I don't think there's anything being officially announced about BonesCon returning next year, having had conversations with John Webb, there is a strong likelihood that in some form it will return. And I think from everyone who was there and from everything I heard afterwards, there's a lot of desire for it to come back. Because, it's not just a big War Machine event. It is that big community getting together, and it allows people who play multiple games slightly casually to just rock up and go, you know what? I'm going to have a weekend playing whatever I want.
That does have a lot of appeal.
Yeah.
A lot more appeal than most of the other kind of very focused events, I agree.
Yeah.
It remind me, I mean, yeah, it's a different kind of thing entirely, but that reminds me a lot of the first year of SmogCon.
Yeah. Big, I would say probably more pertinently Guildford.
Right.
SmogCon. Because that was the one where we officially supported Malifaux. We officially supported Drop Zone Commander.
I have to admit, I didn't go to that one, but yeah.
We got the Bushido Masters running there as well.
I can't remember why I didn't go to that one, but yeah, I didn't go to that one.
There's probably very good reasons, but I'll actually say, recently, while searching for potential new venues for the anime convention I'm involved with, that venue came up. I was just there going, no. There's only about 12 rooms on site and 4 parking spaces. No. So, nice hotel, but not ideal for what we wanted. I would actively encourage anyone who sort of wants to go to a big event, but not necessarily have the pressure of like playing 12 games of War Machine in a weekend or whatever. BonesCon is a really good event, because even if all you're doing is sitting around having the bar, having a bit of a chat, although admittedly they did ban board games, which was
what?
Yes. Now this is a grudge I have against the Hilton. So the Hilton are.
I've played board games in their bar.
Yes, I think that might be why.
It's all Kurt's fault.
I was drinking, is true.
The Hilton hosts UK Games Expo. Okay, it is, aside from Essen, like one of the top board gaming events in Europe.
Oh.
It's huge. And they have a really large bar, which is very, for whatever reason, their bar has banned board games. I mean,
Okay.
talk about misunderstanding your audience. If you're forcing all those people to go elsewhere, good luck to you as your bar tab just evaporates for the evening.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't. Because, I mean, I've sat there and played, King of Tokyo while having drinks. And those drinks are not cheap.
I first played Battle Sheep in the bar at the UK Games Expo in the Hilton, and drank
Yes,
heavily.
I remember you saying so very much on this podcast.
And,
Several years ago.
I did eventually get hold of the Battle Sheep, and we play it quite a lot.
Cool.
It's a cool game, by the way. Beer and pretzels, pick it up, put it down. It's a good game. But anyway.
But yes, if anyone wants that kind of multi-game event, and BonesCon does come back, and I really hope it does, because I've already said to John.
So before you went this year, you were like, "This is my last. This is my last one. I'm not doing it again."
Kurt, how many times have I said that in relation to this podcast?
Every other Tuesday.
I think I've quit this podcast 3 times.
True.
That's a bit melodramatic. Come on, stop quitting.
I haven't quit in the last 2 years.
No, that's true.
Okay, you can quit after this one again with friends.
I'm aiming to get to at least 100.
Okay.
11 more to go.
You'll never make it out alive.
Yeah.
Too bad it won't last, but nothing does.
Hey, nice.
So yes, if BonesCon does reappear, I've already said to John, if any help that he wants, outside of my role as vice president of Hibanicon, I will help.
I thought you were going to say vice president of the United States then for some reason.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did actually.
The world would be a very different place if I was the vice president of anything important.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Might turn to a command and conquer situation. You never know.
Oh, sweet. Tanya and all that shit.
The Brotherhood of Nod would be on the rise.
Brotherhood of Nord. Jesus. Well, at least I'll get some sleep then, mightn't we?
Actually, why aren't we going to war with Russia anyway?
Just.
Let's not talk politics.
Oh, what? It's not politics. It's like literally going to happen.
Just because it's the Cold War again, Benj.
Yeah. It's my
You're
time
the
to
happiest
shine.
you've ever been, aren't you?
It's time to start hoarding.
People are going to die. He's happy.
Cans of food.
Come friendly
Dogs and
bonds
cats
look on
live
Ben.
together.
What?
Nothing. Just Matt Townsend in the chat room going, Kane lives!
Nice.
I'm so sad that, was it Westwood have kind of
Died.
been killed by EA.
Mm-hmm.
Knifed in the back of an evening. So, anyway, that is BonesCon. I encourage you to go. Yeah.
All right, I might.
Ben,
Yeah.
you said you wanted some conversation on the Welsh Masters.
It's happening.
Well, we know it's happening. It's hip.
Is there one ticket left still, or is that it? Now it's gone.
I honestly don't know. If there are any tickets left, then go buy them.
I'd also like to say that I have never bought a ticket in advance to the Welsh Masters and gone quite a lot, and I've always managed to get a cancellation ticket. So if there are no more tickets, just get yourself on that list.
Yeah,
It
Martin will tell you if you can play. So, I mean, what can we say about the Welsh Masters that we've not said over the last, and I'm going to say it now, 7 years of this podcast?
It's ace.
It's ace. It's ace.
In 7 years, I think we have every single year done some sort of retrospective on the Welsh Masters and gone, you know what? I really enjoyed that. That was one of my favourite events of the year.
It
Yes.
were right good.
Because
We should.
Firestorm Games, let's face it, that's a really good venue. It
Yes.
wasn't the old... Okay, the old one was a little bit...
It was all right. It was still good.
suspect, but it had one of the best atmospheres in the UK as venues go. It was, grotty camo net everywhere, and Rob, the guy who owns it, really did his best to bring that place up to, piece by piece from what it was to what it is now, which is just an incredible venue. Martin, apart from I think either 1 or 2 years where he didn't want to run it. He turns up and he brings that prize pool. He just I'm going to have glass ornaments with faction logos on. And
I've got one over there.
A ray gun that's the best painted model, and I'm going to have this and that. And you just sit there and go, Martin, you are insane. This can't possibly happen. And then you turn up and you see the multiple tables laden with things. And you just go, oh no, he's not actually that insane.
Oh, no, he is. He is. It's just, he still does that as well.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact you do things like buy a load of discount end-of-line army books, slice the pages out, frame them, and go, there we go. We've got prints for each one of the factions now. I do still have my Cadre wooden spoon from the first time I went there.
I've got a framed minion poster somewhere up there now.
Yeah, I have a framed Fenris.
I've got a minion best in faction bit of glass over there somewhere as well.
Best one of 3. Or was it 2?
I think it was 3.
Okay. It's Convergence that now gets that award. How many players for that? You can turn up and get it.
Tim, unless Tim's there.
Yeah, that is true. I did get to play Tim at BonesCon actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I kind of half had the game under control until my army went away.
That sounds familiar.
Turns out Orion's pretty tasty.
Well, I know what game you're playing now. Orion. Sounds like it should be a circle solo.
His feat is very interesting. Because like models with his control area, if they have a focus point on them, then all your models get an extra die of damage against them. But if they don't have a focus point on them, then all your models get an extra die on the attack roll against them.
What? That hurts my head just hearing that.
So basically, all your warjacks, you've kind of just got to throw the focus away and really not have any left at the end of the turn and just kind of pray. All your infantry, no, they're dead. He's just going to hit them.
Wow.
And then if he's got the battle engine as well, that just goes insane on feet turn. Because like, okay, so now I'm like 5 die to hit, 4 dice of damage, 3 shots, everything dies. Okay, fine. I'll just take my stuff off the table.
All your stuff looks the same. I don't know.
Yeah. I know some of the Convergence stuff, but it's a little limited.
I don't.
I know to take the battle engine out, and that's really about it, because, oh boy, that thing is a pain.
That's a fairly common rule of thumb, though, isn't it?
That is very, very true.
I don't know what it does, but I'm going to try and kill it.
Yes. But anyway, back to the Welsh Masters. If you haven't been, it's a 128 player tournament at this point.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't watch it at once. Benji, are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Yep. So I'm also helping out. We've got a new head judge in the form of Byron.
Hello, Byron.
Martin is still running it and will still be running his quite crazy raffle stuff. Again, if you've not been involved in the Welsh Masters raffle before,
it's ace. It's brilliant.
Buy a couple of tickets because Welsh Masters 160 this year. Good Lord, that's a lot of players.
The raffle is amazing.
Yeah, buy a ticket to Welsh Masters raffle because you never know what you're going to get. If your name is called relatively near the start, you will get some bonkers, insane, crazy-ass prizes that will be, like, ridiculously expensive. And
it's Christmas!
Yeah, I saw people walking away like, I bought 5 tickets. I've now got a full copy of Dust.
That was Matt Rowan you're talking about there, I believe.
Yeah, back when that was, Dust was the full long box of stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Matt who came away with a ridiculous amount of Dust.
I managed to walk away with, sadly, a copy of Level 7 Escape. which had been donated to the prize pool after someone opened a review copy the night before and hated it so much they said, "Martin, raffle this off."
Good.
So there's that. Ben, have you got anything to add on the Welsh Masters?
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know who's providing the streaming equipment this year, but it's only got better each year. So I hope it's the Walsall chaps. They have some good equipment.
Oh, Jake and
Yeah. That's some fancy, elaborate stuff.
Warlords, good club. Oh, that reminds me. I do need to see if they've got any tickets left for the Midlands Open because I'd quite like to go to that one. Because I still need to test my double colossal list on the table. But...
See, for all this, I'm sat here painting a Land Raider. I sit here and I go, "Oh yeah, War Machine. I quite like playing that."
This is the problem. Almost any set of gaming, I kind of want to be part of it.
Yeah.
Because I have my weekly RPG group. I have my weekly X-Wing group. Board games. If someone invites me over on a weekend, I am there for board games. It's this wealth of stuff I can go and do, and then kind of go, yeah, but I'm dipping a toe in every single one. I'm just getting beaten.
Yeah, there is that, but never mind.
Although a Star Wars RPG, you can't really get beaten at that other than if the GM tries and kills you, and he had a damn good try this week. It was only by virtue of the fact that I've got the Force persuade ability that I was kind of just going to the boss of the area going, yeah, we're all friendly, and all the people who are accompanying you, they're the real Jedi.
And it worked. Well done.
Yes, it required a horrible amount of dice to be rolled. And spent an entire fight with the boss either trying to kill their own people or swiping at shadows. It was good fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I would advise, but if you get a chance to play Star Wars RPG, it's nice and simple. Give it a crack.
Good. Whatever, good.
Right. Well, that's our main topics kind of exhausted, frankly.
Good.
Let's wrap up and go on. No, we're talking about some hobby stuff. So, unless you've got anything else to add on top, Benj?
What? Nah.
Benj, we're recording a podcast. It's called Elite Cadre.
Where am I?
You've been on it before. Normally, you're here to just complain about stuff until we go, no, Benj, you're wrong.
Does it help when you've got Alex to argue with? Does that really help?
Having an Alex to bounce off is sometimes interesting because at least you get a robot voice so you can pretend he's saying anything you like.
It's true.
Oh, actually, so just to quickly go back to the Welsh Masters. I believe it's welshmasters.com or welshmasters.co.uk. They are selling merchandise, so you can buy T-shirts, I believe. There is also an insulated mug with the Welsh Masters logo on it.
That's quite cool. I didn't know that.
Looks quite nifty.
I'll have to look at that.
I'll check before we go on because, frankly, that seems like the sort of thing that would be important. So
you've got my interest, and I haven't looked.
There's also pictures of the staff this year.
Oh dear, is that wise?
I don't know. It looks like a mugshot grouping, basically. But we're on it.
Oh, there's 9 tickets left. I can see that. So 9 of 170 even.
Mike, there is the young picture of you looking very happy. Like you're enjoying playing games.
Anything.
Yeah.
So you can... Oh, there we go. You can get a heat-changing faction mug and coaster. That's £14.
It's just turning into QVC.
A frosted stein, which looks quite frankly a bit ridiculous, but okay, I'll allow it.
The travel mug.
the travel mug, and the jersey, which I'll be honest looks a bit svelte and cut for many War Machine players, but I'm not going to go too far into that one.
Are you gonna go all hand model-y and like wave over the various items?
Can we have mad background music?
If you call now, you get your free Welsh Dragon car-centered
Tattoo.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, look, the Welsh Masters is a great event. I thought, we could do a bit of a favour for Martin. Mention what's out there. So, welshmasters.com, if you're interested in any of that. Or if you're interested in a ticket, there are still a few available. I realise I haven't actually said what the date is because I keep forgetting.
It's sometime in May. It's one of the months beginning with M. And there's only
May
two.
19th to 20th.
There's no other months beginning with M, is there? No. There's only
March?
two. No, two. I'm only saying there's two. There's not like...
November.
Mocktober.
October is the month.
Welcome to Elite Cadre, home in the Movember. Yeah.
I've done Movember once, and it nearly drove me insane.
I started it and I hated it, so I know.
Yeah,
no.
See,
I'm
you
just not doing it.
first, so I wouldn't have thought it'd be so bad for you.
I really hate this itchiness. This is not nice. I can't do with that. Just because I go without shaving on holiday for a week is not the same as going for a month.
Kurt, if you got a pair of aviators and a giant bushy mustache, you would definitely look 90% more German.
That's such a selling point you've made there. I'm not going to comment on it.
I don't know where to go from that bench. Thank you.
Because my name's German. Is that why you think that?
No. It's just the mustache and the glasses would definitely... You'd look like a 1970s counter-terrorist operative.
I was just assuming you were going for a Top Gun reference there, but you didn't go there. So
No, I've just been playing...
Would you feel the need to say, I must ask you a question?
Oh my God.
I've just been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, and there's a lot of Germans with Adidas gear on.
Fair enough.
Never mind.
Okay, well, I think we've finished that segment now.
I think we've finished.
we finished our advertorial for Welsh Masters merch.
We apologise for the low quality Elite Cadre. It's a Friday evening. We don't usually record on a Friday evening. I think that's what it is.
We're recording on a Friday evening because Benj has a problem.
It's not as bad as... What's the problem?
We already discussed it.
Yeah, we have.
Well, at least it's not a Saturday. Do you remember that one?
Just crack another booster.
They do smell nice. Have you
I
ever
don't remember a
sniffed
Saturday.
cards?
They smell of headaches. That's what they smell of.
What?
I don't remember a Saturday recording.
We've done a Saturday recording. It wasn't great.
I'll take your word for it.
It wasn't our finest quality.
Here, so yeah.
At least it wasn't episode 9.
No. Anyway, let's move on to some hobby stuff. So, actually, first in the lineup this time is Benj.
I have painted some Space Marines
And some cards.
I haven't painted the cars. That would be the end.
These are swamps. I'm going to paint the faces black.
What?
That's good. Black.
I play black white.
Black.
If you've never seen, was it the Fast Show that did that?
Yeah,
one?
I know.
Yeah,
I know. It's
Fast
the
Show.
one.
Look at the shadow under the woods. The shadow. I just get a little bit of black.
Yeah, I think you need a little bit of black. Black. Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah. It's fine.
It's great.
Yeah.
At what point do we actually become tiresome by doing this?
Don't know.
About 4 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, people still keep listening. 3 or 4 people keep listening.
It's all right. That keeps the lights on, and Mike's 20 pence per hosting or something.
It's a couple of dollars a month I pay for this.
A couple of dollars.
Yeah.
When did we move to dollars?
Since we moved to Amazon Web Storage.
Oh.
Because it's cheap. Really, really cheap.
Yeah, I know about that. That's we use something.
They're not even sponsors. AWS, it's cheap.
Yeah, something about work and that. I've got to do something with that. Never mind.
Yes, my work transferred all its stuff to AWS at the weekend. Guess what? It broke.
Did it break?
It really broke.
Are you still at that
So
place?
yeah, advertising is cheap, but it breaks.
Have you got? Are you still at that place, or have you gone back to the old place?
No, I worked for what is now the Park Now Group.
What park now?
Yes, Park Now.
Park now,
Where-
park here.
Where can you park?
Don't care. Just park
Anyway,
now.
Benj,
Okay.
hobby.
Yeah. I quite like Space Marines again. It feels like I'm regressing.
Primaris are fun to play, aren't they? They're just fun.
Well, I haven't played them yet,
What
but
drew
they're
you into this? What's kind of what's feeding this?
what's feeding this addiction? Well,
Plastic crack.
it's alternative from cardboard crack, I guess. I don't know.
Everybody else is doing it, and I felt left out.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons, I guess. Looking for more casual wargaming where you don't want to throttle your opponent and like wear their head as another head.
I'm there with you on that.
I think the last tournament that I played for War Machine kind of turned me off that kind of interaction, so I just want something more casual.
Do you mean fun? Do you mean just something fun?
Yeah, I want something
Fun.
more fun than my opponent like staring at me like I was just basically like shit
his
on his
children.
face.
Mm.
And yeah,
It's got a
No.
very different events bench.
What? What do you mean? I get paired up with these people. Even John said, God, I wish that guy hadn't turned up. We were hoping that guy hadn't turned up. Well, that's great. I get paired against them. You know, that's the first tournament back of it, you know, and this is apparently the local asshole. So, you know, that's great.
You
attract
are a
them.
magnet for these people.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
this is like massive
It's
amounts
not the
of...
first time. Let's be fair, is it?
It's not.
Hang on. Are TOs purposefully pairing you with these people?
I think
I would.
people don't want me to play games.
No, they do. They definitely do.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, they do. But it's like you keep playing games against people like that and get cross.
Okay.
It's quite funny watching you get cross.
No,
Or fall asleep. I can't decide much more.
have I got... You haven't seen... Have you seen me get cross in person?
Not in person.
generally-
Audibly, though.
Oh, yeah.
I get quite
I've
upset
seen you
audibly.
slowly look more and more like like you're being boiled.
Alive,
Slowly get more and more red.
I guess. Are you sure that's not just from, like, walking a lot?
Could be.
Pacing to calm down doesn't work.
Could be. I mean,
Don't know.
what I'd have to do is watch you, as you watch Jim Stark play a game
Right.
Okay.
against, I don't know, some other hyper-competitive person who has a tendency to knock models slightly forward while measuring.
Isn't that anybody in the pro scene now in War Machine?
Wait. You want to watch Jim Stark play against someone who knocks models forward when moving them. I like that. Does he play anything at the moment?
I
Yeah,
think he played Destiny, I think.
Okay.
I thought he played
That's really
40k.
good. Knocks
But no,
models
he
forward.
does play 40k as well, yes. But no, watching you sort of as you judge that game, but maybe kind of gag you while you're watching it so you can't interject. And just see how angry you get then. That will give me a good baseline to work from.
I don't know. I'm turning into one of these people that's a bit of a sort of social snowflake in these type of. I don't want to offend people. I don't want to get into
But at the same
arguments.
time, you want to shout the C word right in their face.
Yeah, like, all right, okay, so
It's really therapeutic. I can recommend it.
well, I'm going to tell this story because you said I could
Content,
have,
excellent.
you said I could have a little bit of magic time. I'm only going to refer to the game that we were playing that was magic, but the social situation was pretty bad. In that we've now got this person who somebody brought along to a group of people who've known each other for a long time and are playing Magic now just as a casual thing on like a Wednesday night. We still kind of try hard a bit, some of us.
This is a new group for you, then, you're saying? Right.
Well, no, they're friends. They are people that I've known for a long time, and we've done lots of different activities, and we've decided to play Magic like on a Wednesday night just as a relaxing kind of thing. And then a friend brought a friend, and the friend was great. The friend then brought another friend who was a bit of an asshole. And so we play the first game against this guy, and a lot of people are quite new to Magic, so they don't know all the interactions of the cards. This game's been going on since 1995, so and this guy doesn't read out his cards or what the cards, the interactions that they have. He just does things.
That sounds familiar.
And so he just does things, and people are left like, well, what's going on here? And because it's a casual environment, they're drinking beer, they're not really paying attention, and then they're being hit for like 24 damage and lifelink with trample, and everybody's like, what the fuck? And so we had another game of this, and the atmosphere. So what had happened was we actually had started another chat group without this guy who'd been added to it by somebody, and we were decided like, yeah, we won't mention anything, we'll just keep going. Turns up again because he asked his friend, and so we were sat there. The atmosphere is pretty. I'm not the only person with the problem with this guy either. Everybody else is kind of just getting on with it. One person has this cringe sort of face because he had to sit next to him. And yeah, it was just really a very unpleasant atmosphere. And so I don't want to have unpleasant times gaming.
Do you have to have a polite conversation with the guy and point out what he's doing?
Which his friend has done that already.
Right. Has it helped?
No. He's just he is actually just a smug, horrible person. He's the kind of person that put me off wargaming, essentially, basically.
Almost every group, anywhere ever, has that guy.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. If you think
who that guy is,
if you think your group doesn't have one,
you're that person. Yeah, exactly. And that's the fear. That is also the secondary fear as well. Is, are you making that environment yourself toxic by being, and I just don't know really what I kind of want now from... I know that I don't want War Machine. I don't want hyper-competitive gaming all the time.
You can play War Machine casually. It is tricky, but you can do it.
Are you sure?
I know people that do, and part of groups on Facebook that do it.
I think it's harder to play War Machine casually.
I think you have to choose who you play with and play inside groups that all agree to play casually.
Yeah. I think, that's the same as a lot of other games. You've got to have that kind of social contract of saying, look, we're just going to play with what we have, or we're going to play, slightly fluffy.
If you're all in the same position and you all have families and commitments and don't have the time to invest in getting that competitive, then it stays at that sort of level. But then you only need somebody to come in and go, I bought all this and I've done this and I've read this, and yeah.
Well, it's like with RPGs. Every group, you'll kind of have that spectrum. And at one end will be the person who they never kind of declare what they're doing in a turn, but they'll describe everything they're doing in like a lot of detail, and we'll have to be reminded by the GM, can you roll some dice? On the other end of the spectrum, you will have the munchkin.
This spectrum's the autism spectrum, isn't it? Right?
No.
Well, no. I think it can literally, seriously, it looking at people, there are people that fulfill these roles, and it is based on their almost level of autism.
No. I disagree. I mean, it may be a contributing factor, but I don't think it's the only one.
Okay. Well, take, for example, the guy that I was buying these boosters tonight, and I ended up striking up a conversation with the guy who had exactly the same interest in Magic as I do, which is playing the Commander format. And the people that were in the shop before, who also enjoyed the same hobby that I have, were absolutely the other end of the spectrum from this guy. They were completely socially awkward. One of them was shuffling, looking at their cards, being really quiet. The other one was being loud, flamboyant, and annoying. And then,
sorry, are you describing me and Nick, or
I don't know. I haven't seen you play games. You won't play games against me.
Fine, whatever.
Oh, come on. The one time you were coming. What happened?
Yes, yeah. The one time I was going to come to you, I inconsiderately got a leg infection and was unable to stand.
Exactly.
How cruel of me to do a bait and switch by crippling myself.
The lengths you will go to get out of gaming.
Next time, Benj, I'll call the ring and ride. I'll get a wheelchair arranged so I can come
I haven't
round
got a ramp.
and run over your foot.
I haven't got a ramp yet. I'll get a ramp. No, I guess I'm just being extreme. But
No, I mean, I do think you've got a point, and I do think that any gaming group has that range of personalities, but it's kind of it's almost assembling the group of people you want around you.
What?
I mean, I know that the group I go to for RPGs, it's a very loose group, and to be honest, half of it we're there for like just a general natter, because we're all kind of professionals with like fairly middlingly intense jobs, and we just want something that's a bit out there, a bit of fun, and that we can go to. And an RPG in the middle of the week is a nice bit of relaxation. No one takes it uber seriously. There's a lot of, this is what the rules say, but I don't really care. Yeah, it sounds cool. Do it. And at the end, isn't that all that we're here for?
Yes.
Yes. I'm also there to live dreams where I managed to get 35 humans on the table.
Noob Crusher!
But yeah, well, that's the thing as well. I guess some of those. I mean, I don't win every game, and I only won the one last week because that one went on for ages. But it's just comfortable. You know, everybody there is a friend. Everybody knows that we're there for a reason, and this guy doesn't fit that kind of mold.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of say to somebody that's just been brought in like that, especially when the person that actually brought him into the environment didn't like him either.
Why did he do that then?
I don't know.
A very dark turn.
I don't know. I don't know. It was interesting, and I've tried to dissect it, and like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't like him either. Then why did you bring him then?
I don't. He gets
There
asked.
are a lot of people who do it through social obligation.
I think
It's that very British thing of saying to someone, "You must come round for dinner."
I see. I swear, my Britishness fails me at that point. Right at that point.
And I think that's the reason that other people haven't said as much or won't say anything. It's because of that over politeness or not wanting to be the person that says that.
Do you want me to come round?
No, it's all right.
Thanks.
You're bad.
Because I'm worse than him. It's fine. I understand.
And I can understand. I mean, the first time that I went to one of those board gaming sort of social things as well, they're quite awkward as well because you're trying to size up the dynamics there. And if you don't go with a friend, it can be even more awkward, especially if you're playing a semi-competitive game. As well.
Have you thought about going with the trousers on?
I mean,
what you're saying, Benj, is that meeting new people is awkward.
I think that is definitely what I'm saying.
Without established protocol.
And that's fair. I mean, the first time I went to the club in Newbury like 4 years ago, and I just took my little tray of X-Wing along, and there's 4 people. It's like, I don't know which one of you I was talking to on Facebook. I'll just hang around the table for 5 minutes and hope someone addresses me. That sounds cool.
But in a tournament situation,
see, I overcompensate the other way.
But in a tournament situation, you get paired up with somebody. You have about 5 minutes to try and size that person up, and you have to interact with that person for the length of 45 to 50 minutes to get something out of the game.
This whole thing of equating tournaments to speed dating, and it's just got weird in my head.
Well, it kind of actually is if you break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You've got to reach a level of a social contract with a person to.
But some people will play a game and get to know someone, and some people will play a game. And I remember introducing 2 people that I know from different circles at one of the small cons in the open. And I'm like, "Did you get on well? Did you have a laugh? Did you get yeah?" And the guy had forgotten his name in like 10 seconds, and 10 minutes later, and it's like, "Oh, you played against him earlier on. Oh, was that? Oh, okay." Without naming any names in any regard. And you're like, okay. Neither of them are that communicative and neither of them are that chatty. But they're both chatty with me, but they don't meet new people and chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I talk.
So anyway, that's your hobby section, Benj.
That's my hobby section that divert.
I feel we need a new section. I think we need a section just for some kind of Benji's rant type section.
Is it really
what
a rant
anymore? What really
anymore?
grinds Benji's gears or something like
I
that?
was going to say the exact same thing.
Is it really a rant? It's more of
I think it
a
should be though.
question.
It's Benji's random commentaries.
I just wonder if
I think it needs a more catchy name. We'll have to work on that.
I'm just wonder if I'm alone in this thinking, in this thought process. Am I so alien to this?
I don't think you are, Benj. I don't think you are.
So am I the only one that voices it? Are people having these dilemmas actually in their head when they get to a wargaming table, or are they that fixated on the game that they don't give a shit?
What you mean, as in actually, how do I talk to the person across the table?
How do I deal with this situation that I've been put in?
I'll be honest. I deal with it the same way I've been dealing with people for the last, let's say, 10, 15 years, which is kind of just say hi and move from there.
I'm Ed Winchester.
I'm Ed Winchester, yes. No, I'm not, and I don't know why I said that.
Maybe it's just got to a level where I just can't be asked anymore and
I
even
found
saying
it-
hi.
I
found it hard. I found it hard when I first did it.
Yeah.
I found it hard when I went to my first event on my own. So when I didn't go, we had no one else to go with. So when I think the first one I went on my own was one in Firestorm, a small one in Firestorm. And I dealt with that by emailing Rob and emailing Martin. So when I turned up on the door, I didn't know no one, but I didn't really know either of them. This is before my Twitter really exploded the way it has in hobby sense. And so I don't know. I mean, I haven't been for a while, but
No, I know. I've been like that, but I've been more reserved in the last couple of years. Less willing to be kind of open. I don't know why.
I
find
gaming events a relaxed social environment. I don't think there is a protocol such, but there is that kind of social contract that Mike was talking about. So I try and have a conversation and try and make it a bit more chatty. We're on the clock usually and things as well. So I try and have some kind of come away from the table having at least felt like I've met the person at least.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's got to a stage where it kind of felt like because I used to do airsofting, and a lot of the people that were going to those kind of events as well were not the type of people in the end that you kind of really wanted to, that I particularly really had anything in common with. They were very much like sporting type of people. They talked about football, beer, and what have you.
Chicks.
And it
come on down to Newbury, because amongst the X-Wing players there is a big airsoft community.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is some cross intersectionality or whatever the fuck it is between hobbies.
Intersectionality, I like that.
I don't even know what that word means. I just throw it out there.
Intersectionality.
You're using it right, Benj. No, carry on.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Because a lot of these hobbies do tend to overlap because they're kind of.
It's a different kind of geek, isn't it? It's a different kind of corner.
Different kind of.
X-Wing has a massive overlap with lots of different things.
Usually involving people with too much money.
I mean, you see them.
Is that what it is?
It's quite funny when you see them at the MCM Comic Cons and stuff like that. You see airsofters dabbling in cosplay because it is essentially basically cosplay.
Yeah,
and they look. Some of them look completely scared out of their minds by the actual cosplayers walking around with giant swords that are about 12 foot long, made out of cardboard. It's just interesting.
You having mentioned MCM, as part of the convention running community, I can only thank ReedPop for turning up and whacking a big old chunk on all the tickets for MCM, because that's really made everyone else's lives a lot easier.
What's going on?
Okay, so ReedPop bought MCM Expo, or Comic Con, as they've been running as for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
ReedPop are the guys who own things like Star Wars Celebration.
Okay.
They're a big events company, and the first thing they did was kill off a load of the smaller convention type events, and then whacked like, was it 20, 30 quid on a weekend ticket to MCM Expo?
What?
Yeah, the prices have gone through the roof. So that means the value prospect of all the little fan run conventions
Goes up.
is so much higher.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, we've had to increase a little bit since last year because costs.
Overheads are a thing.
We'd like not to go bankrupt. I'll be honest. That we had enough left in the account to do the deposit for this year's event, and that's a good start. We lost less than we thought we would. But yeah, Reed Pop. Oh boy, there's a lot of anger at them online. It's amazing.
What about like a single sort of ticket for one day? Are they similar or?
What, for MCM?
Yeah, for MCM.
They've all gone up. Every single ticket across the board has gone up.
It was already starting to get a bit outrageous because you're basically paying to shop.
Yeah. I don't think there's any contested. I mean, okay, there's a couple of events. But,
I mean, I never was there to.
Are there panels as well?
Yeah, there are panels, but it's mainly the shopping. It's mainly a culmination of a lot of geek stores, online vendors, and things like, and people just trying to shift a load of shit. Although the cinema thing, I did really want to go to those, but they were never on at the right times. And
the weekend ticket for MCM London, as far as I'm aware, is about 70 quid.
I'm out. Well, I'm out even if there's a slight increase on the single ticket because it was already stupid.
Yeah.
You're paying to go into London as well. So.
Your day priority tickets are now, if you include the ticket fee, almost 30 quid. And if you don't want the priority, they're about 20 quid.
I went to Hyper Japan. I hope they haven't bought that. That was quite. I quite like. What? Yeah.
That's a bit of a pain to get to.
It's not at the Tobacco Dock now. It's gone back to where it was, which is that the Victoria Centre or something?
Earl's Court.
Anyway,
that got a bit demolished.
Either way, it looks good, and that's a good alternative because the same kind of shit goes there as well, and more Japanese cultural stuff as well.
Has that actually been knocked down? I knew it was closed, but it's actually been knocked down.
What?
That was cool.
I think it's in the process of being redeveloped. I
know it was going to be, but yeah, I wasn't sure if it had been or not.
Let's have a look at Hyper. Actually, where is it?
This is the problem with London. It's always being like knocked down, rebuilt, whatever.
So is everywhere else.
Oh, yeah. it's at the Olympia this year.
I was going to say that actually. I wasn't sure if you could say Olympia, but yeah.
Demolition work at Earl's Court started in 2014.
There you go.
Oops. It's been a while.
I've walked past it since then and noticed no difference.
The food is really good at Hyper Japan as well. Just
yeah, 'cause it comes from the Japanese Cultural Centre, doesn't it? I love it.
There's a lot of different Japanese food stands.
Yeah.
And I love the food that the Japan Centre does. Oh.
I believe you can get some. What is it? Karage.
I don't know. I'm just all about the katsu
Actually, you
curry.
wouldn't. That's fried chicken, but
Yeah, I'm about the katsu curry, the veggie katsu curry. So that's what I like. Anyway, we went shit wide on the hobby thing. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's why these things never end before like midnight. So, Kurt, hobby.
Hello. I've been doing some hobby, yes. Mainly.
I'm seeing the intermittent brush licking.
I'm painting a Land Raider at the moment.
Good. Well, what the hell is that on the front?
Well, it's a Chaos Achilles, which you can't buy.
Let's have a look. Wait. I can't see.
It looks like you stuck a Coke can to the front.
Well, not quite.
Oh my god, I thought it was a penis.
No.
Is that
a Chaos Achilles has a massive cannon on the front. So it has a big soul burner bombard. So I went overboard.
I'm sorry. On closer inspection, it's either a Land Raider bong or a baked bean can has just landed on your Land Raider.
It was a bit of a homage to old Orc conversions. I quite like it.
It needs skulls.
It probably does need more skulls. It is. You can't buy the model, the Achilles Chaos. So and it's got a soul burner bombard that does 2d3 mortal wounds, or 2d3 attacks that all do mortal wounds. So I'm like, need a big cannon on the front. Because I had one.
I'll be honest, that is entirely in keeping with 40k.
Yeah.
Like, just make it as ridiculous as you can, and it probably still is not ridiculous enough.
It doesn't look as silly. I think it looks sillier on camera than it does in reality. It's harder to get the kind of a
It doesn't look as ornate as the tank itself. You need to put some spikes on it or something.
Well, I haven't painted anything on it yet because I'm usually handling it because it's kind of. Yeah.
You're handling the pipe.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's an old Land Raider. So the Land Raider is, I don't know how old that is, 15 years old at least. And I thought it had gone long ago. It was a corn Land Raider, so it's had a massive amount of conversion applied to it. The doors pulled off of it, and yeah. So I've been painting that. I also put some base coats on Magnus earlier on for the first time. But I'm dancing around painting like a magpie at the moment. I'm not really finishing anything, so I need to get on and finish some stuff. But playing really got back into Thousand Suns and painting Thousand Suns and having a lot of fun with it.
Hey, that's the important thing. And to be honest, it looks good. So
yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Also, I did kind of stall on finishing my Death Watch, but I'll go back to that at some point as well. I haven't finished the Flyer, the Corvus Black Star. That's just primed. That needs some attention. But I got distracted. New things came out. The Mutilist Vortex Beast really, really conflicted and just drew me back to getting back into Thousand Suns and Zinch. And the Codex, really. Everything in the Codex.
It's you and your magpie gamer attitude. That's what it is.
It is. It really is. But at least everything on my table is currently 40k, I think.
You think.
You finally got there.
I think. There probably is some more machines still. I'm buried under some of it.
And to be honest, if you go digging on this desk, you will find right at the back some circle. That kind of point. Yeah, I'll paint this. No.
Madrak, the resculpted Madrak 1 might be under there somewhere. I don't know what else. But also, I'm not sure if I talked about it last time, but the Rail Raiders Infinite, did I talk about that last time? Did I have that last time?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I can't remember. And I'm currently waiting on, hopefully, Green Horde should arrive. The initial box should arrive for Green Horde any day, pretty much.
I've just realised this is actually the third podcast in a row where you talked about Rail Raiders Infinite. Because every single time I've had that thought of, oh, my mate Ian's got a copy of that. And it's like, no, wait, I've edited that, I'm sure. It's getting this weird sense of deja vu all over again.
Well, I think one was when it was about to arrive, the one when it did, and we played it, and then, yeah. But yeah, cool. Mostly been playing 40k, even with the children as well. Got I tell you what, I have painted as well. PR. This is what I've also painted, because my eldest has got into playing Harlequins. My youngest, who is 7, wanted to do some Space Marines because she wanted to keep it simple to Space Marines, but she wanted them to be the right colour for her. So can we get that so we can see it?
I remember seeing this on your Twitter. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's when you see them before they get painted, when they're just primed. So they're primed, basically sprayed, quite a fairly bright baby pink, and then added bits and pieces. I wanted to kind of do something simple with Space Marines. She wanted to play Space Marines, and she wanted to do it simply. And I bought a basic box of somebody's Primaris that they wanted to shift on from their Dark Imperium box. So that's that done for my youngest. So she can play Hawklords, turning into Hawklords, pink Hawklords.
Getting people into the game young, I see. That's
yeah. They played.
We've
all played. It's all good. Yeah, it's good fun.
Oh, bollocks. I've just remembered something.
What's that?
I was going to try and pick up Shin Godzilla. Bollocks. Sorry.
There are places on the internet you can do that then.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to pick up the DVD and watch it tonight. But
are we doing any other business separately?
This is any other business, pretty much, so.
This is any other business. In that case, I'd like to say how excited I am for the return of Monpok.
Yes, that was a big announcement.
I know it's going to be. I think it looks better in the sense it's supposed to be bigger, although the scale is somewhat misleading. 75mm scale. What does that mean? Does that mean that they're 3 feet high? I'm not sure. I
thought that was Pacific Rim that did the 75mm scale.
Yeah, that was.
I'm sure it said 75. Was that on? Oh, was that on the Pacific Rim one?
That
Oh, it
was
might
the
be, yeah.
Pacific Rim one.
Yeah,
Which,
but I
I remember
still
you
think that's.
commenting when Nick posted about it. You're like,
Oh,
75
you're right. It
mil?
was that. I'm blurring the two together. I can't imagine why I'm doing that. They're not like they're similar in any way.
it's not like you gone mad.
I
No.
think what they mean by that is 75 mil
I know.
for the eye on the Jaeger.
Yes, I imagine that's what they do mean.
Yeah.
But that's not the size of a human being, is it, or a man? It's
No,
like
God, no.
it's like 75mm scale, so it stands 4 foot high. Okay, good. So yeah, I quite like the privateer press Return of Montauk, it being bigger scale than it was before, and being painted and being resonance plastic looking from the vague pictures we've seen, little videos we've seen. I'm excited. Yeah, want some of that.
Well, you loved the original, didn't you? I didn't really
I
get to
did.
play it, so
I've still got loads of the original, but yeah, it's in the loft. I love it.
It's a bit of a shame that that stuff wasn't interchangeable. You have to buy these new models.
There'll be a reason for that.
It's apparently scale wise. So
Yeah, but there'll be. I think the reason will be connected to why it was stopped in the first place. But we're not going to go into that. But yeah, nobody knows. We're all speculating anyway, so we don't know why. But yeah, I'm excited. It looks really good from what I've seen. The video.
I will say there is actually a picture for scale on their website.
What, doing it all together?
Yeah, so you've got, what is it? It's size comparison, new Defender X, original Defender X, and Growlar from War Machine.
Oh, cool.
So the new Defender X is about
Twice, nearly?
Quarter of an inch taller than the old one.
Oh, okay, so not so big, not so much of a difference. Okay, only slightly.
And then there's about an eighth of an inch between the top of that's head and the top of the Growlar's smokestacks.
Okay.
So it's not huge at all.
No, I expected it to be more than that. Okay. I thought it'd be big. I thought it'd be almost twice the size of the old one. The way they was talking.
Is the Return of Montauk? Do they still own a movie license or something?
I think the reappearance of Monster Apocalypse might be related to the expiration of your license.
Pacific Rim 2.
Because I think the grand speculation has always been the movie was licensed. Then Pacific Rim moved into production, so Montauk got held off on. But the sales of and creation of new miniatures was tied to that movie,
right?
At a guess.
I think there was another element around copyright infringement.
Quite possibly. Well, they did have not Godzilla and not King Kong, didn't they?
Yes, I think there
King
some
Kong
lines that were a bit close
at this point, but Godzilla not so much. So it's a legal minefield thing that looks like it's occurred.
Wait, did you say occurred or a curd?
Oh God, what's he doing now?
As in from the Latin occurrit.
Oh, I thought you said occurred, like a Kurdish person, and I was like, what? What's that got to do with anything?
Benj, have you ever considered getting your ears syringed?
I have actually self-syringed my ears once.
Violently, perhaps.
Well, what came out of there?
Perhaps with a poker.
Did come out of there violently.
Where's the picture then? Where's the picture? Where's the picture? Where's the picture?
I wish I'd taken
monpop.com.
What? Of my wax?
Apocalypse.com, and it's in the
I'm going there now. I'm going there now.
Not my wax.
Makes good radio to go to websites and read them while you're talking on a podcast.
Okay. So
it's so scary. What?
You've got your new Monster Apocalypse. Was there anything else in any other business? It's been so long that I had actually forgotten that was the name of this segment. So
I know, only because I wasn't sure if it's a separate segment to the hobby segment. That's why I was just checking. I wasn't sure. I get confused. We've been doing several incarnations of this. I don't know what's what. Oh, I see the pictures now. Oh, it's not much bigger than the old one. Okay, I like that.
But it is missing the base, so it will probably be a little bit bigger again. But they have said
that's very much workable with old models.
Well,
in the privacy of your own living room.
Yeah, yeah. They have said no, it doesn't work with the models. So I'm like,
really?
Yeah, people will anyway.
Because I've got a box full of them. I'll buy some. The new ones look much better.
Although, yeah, the models will no longer come pre-assembled and painted.
More hobbying.
What?
I think that's a big draw of that game that's gone away.
Are you sure? Most of the people were like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." I don't think there were that many people that were sold on the collectible element.
No, but they did like the pre-painted.
Yeah, but they didn't look that great. Like the
They
whole.
don't have to.
Okay.
This is the thing. If it comes pre-painted, then like most people are like, oh, cool. So you just play.
Yeah, look, Mike.
Yes.
If you were right in your assessment, then let's go hypothetically, Star Wars spaceship game will be the biggest selling game ever, and it's just not true.
In what kind of wacky universe would that happen? I don't know.
Exactly. A pre-painted Star Wars spaceship game would never sell. I don't know where you get these stupid ideas.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because people buy those models and put awful paint jobs on them.
Yeah,
Most people don't. Most people don't, though.
You can just play out the box, which most people are like really happy to do.
I do.
But if you want to go that extra step, if you want to go the hobbyist, people do convert them. People do paint them.
If you do want to ruin your models,
they're actually in a state where the paint on them is thin enough that you can just go over it. You don't even really need to strip them back.
No, you can make highlights and slight adjustments and recolorations and just kind of wash them and do things with them without massively dramatically changing them. And I've done a few bit of that. It's really, really good.
The amount of versions of Black One that came out before the model came out.
Loads.
Which means it's kind of dodgy. It's like, so I have a black X-Wing. Is that a different thing to the other X-Wing? No, they're the same, just different repaints. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I've got my IG-88. One's orange, one's blue.
Yeah.
Because I painted one.
I do know someone who all their Rebel stuff is repainted so the highlights are blue. Because they like having Rebels with blue on them.
I've got a squadron of X-Wings they've got blue highlights, blue colour stripes on them because I wanted blue squadron.
Yeah.
After watching Rogue One.
But I'm yeah. Monpok looks interesting, but another hobby game, so it probably won't happen for me. But
it might because I like the game a lot and I enjoyed that a lot.
Depends on what they do with the rules as well, I think.
Yeah, very true. And if you've got the whole hyper up thing, how you're going to paint a second version is more tricky. I don't know how you're going to do that. If you know what I mean. You get to duplicate models, but the clear plastic bits and pieces haven't really made that. I don't know how they're going to do that unless you get one that I don't know anyway. But yeah, who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on the any of the business?
I don't think so.
Cool.
You? How about you?
As for myself, I did get a game in at BonesCon, played Tim, lost horribly. So, yeah, that's the thing. Other than that, I did see a game that was doing the rounds a lot at BonesCon, and that was Shadespire, which I thought, okay, that looks interesting. It's like a small GW game, so it's a bit like, I don't know, Mordheim, probably. And then I looked at the rules and went, oh, no, this is a lot more like Blood Bowl, but with objectives on a small board. And okay, then looked into some more, and it's got fixed gangs. So you paint 4 or 5 models, and you're done. There's a deck building element, so you can choose to vary up your strategies depending on what you feel your side's good at, or what. And just kind of going into it, it's like this is more and more a game that looks like it was written for me. So I picked it up.
So I thought you liked hobbying.
I do like. This is the thing. I like the end result of hobbying. The process of getting there, however, can be somewhat tedious. Especially if I have to paint like 50 models all the same. I lose my round.
I'm never doing that. Yeah, I think that was the draw for War Machine for all of us to an extent, wasn't it? Initially, before we start painting 6 of the same unit.
Yeah, one of the best things that I've found about Shadespire so far, every single model in every single gang, squad, whatever, is unique because it has to be. Because every single model relies on the silhouette on the card. So they have to stand out. And yeah, I mean, I've for the first time, I've picked up some Skaven and they looked kind of nice, and I'm just
a bit ratty.
Yeah, putting a bit of paint on those, not much on them too far. And yeah, I mean, the fact that you got one, this is just a standard model, comes with a little bit of a scenic base. and yeah,
Cool.
it's a very dynamic pose, kind of leaping over an archway that's crumbling, and it's nice. And also plastic models that fit together easily.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of a pain to get off the sprue, but
I really love GW plastics. After
You know, I
dealing-
am. It's quite interesting. We talk to people who have been in the hobby a fairly reasonable amount of time. So let's say 10 years, and yet, so they've got used to this. They've been used to this new GW plastics and this new way of modelling and everything else. And I was in a GW, and somebody started. We had a brief conversation. We talked about old models, and I mentioned the Demon Prince. So I managed to pick up an old Demon Prince on eBay, and they were talking about how horrendously horrible it was to put together. And actually, we talked about a bit about Hordes and War Machine and how horrendously horrible they are to put together. It's like you've been so spoiled by these new plastics that just go click. Oh look,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time I go to a blister, I pick out a metal model, and there's just a thought of, oh god, what have I got to pin on this?
Yeah.
So the Harlequins are amazing. They fit together, and you think, how does that glue to that? It's like the foot is sculpted into this base, the scenic base, and then it connects somewhere around the knee, and you can't see the lines when it's together. It just go. Oh my god! It's like no modelling required, really.
But yeah, it's like with when I was sticking the orcs together, and you realise that all the joins between the pieces are like under bits of the armor and in folds in the flesh, and it's not hidden, because if you look at the model, you can go, oh yeah, clearly that join's there. But it's because it's naturally sculpted in.
Well, it's digital design as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Your eye kind of just skips over it, and yeah, I kind of wish PP could do that.
Apparently, that new snake woman from Sigma, whatever her name is, her tail is in like something like nearly 20 pieces. The tail alone, but they all fit together. So you have to dry fit them, and it's not immediately obvious.
Yeah.
So even I built Magnus this week. Not Magnus. I built Araman this week. I used the instructions.
Yeah, you'd have to.
I wouldn't normally.
I use the instructions for these retro pieces. They go together really easy, but you're not quite sure, and the instructions do put. Yeah, they are necessary.
I think it's the order. The order is a lot of it. Some of it, you realise if you don't put it together in the right order, you realise that might not be at the right angle, and then that won't fit in anymore.
I will say that for the scaving, because I've actually got the build guide here. Right, so this is for what, 5 different, maybe 6 different models.
I'm guessing you don't really need the instructions for them, yeah.
Well, no, I did read the instructions because you have to know what numbers belong to each rat.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Which
and
rat?
yeah, it was like really simple and easy to follow, and that's it. That's all there is. And yeah, it was just kind of simple and tidy, and I'm hoping to get a game of this against Mr. Brown at Easter in a couple of weeks. So
I haven't seen him in ages.
Nick said he might be on board with it after Easter. So could be
I'm not considering it yet. I might at some point.
Yeah. Well, part of it for me was like the cost, because it is, you buy the box, which is about 35, then you buy a gang, that's about 15. You're done. Is it?
Okay.
There are some add-ons, aren't there? Or there's some stuff in the shop that looks like special characters.
You can well, no, there's no special characters because you can't vary up what you do with your gang.
I may be looking at something slightly different then, because there is something.
Essentially,
malign portents.
The what?
Malign portents. I've seen this on the shelves. I don't know what it is. It looks like a game, but with lots of special characters, or whether they.
I can't remember what that is either.
I'll put the link in.
Isn't it Sigmar?
It's Sigma, but I don't know whether it's part of the main game or not, or whether it's a separate thing.
Don't know.
No
Can't remember.
idea. But
I've heard of it, but I can't remember.
It's Age of Sigmar rather than
Okay.
Shadespire. Because again, Shadespire, you get one sort of sprue that's broken in two, and that's it. That's all the models.
But you get rules for those models to use in Sigma, don't you? Apparently.
Oh well, there may be some somewhere, but
Aren't they in the box in the rule in amongst the back of the instructions? Aren't there rules for those models in there?
No.
Oh, I thought they were.
In each box, okay, for each box, you get a build guide, you get the 2-pot sprue, like ploys and upgrades for your characters. That's it. That's all you get in each box.
Cool.
If you want to buy add-ons, you can buy faction-colored dice. You can buy faction card sleeves. And if you want to expand the game to 3 or 4 players, you buy another box set. Because that gets you the 2 extra boards, the extra counters. That's it.
Cool.
One of the really weird things, though, is apparently that GW aren't going to be carrying this in their main stores.
Going forward?
Yeah, it will be for independent retailers only, with an organised play structure.
Oh.
Which I kind of sat there and went, what?
I didn't know
They
that.
realised, oh yeah, their main store is just to sell Sigmar and 40k. So, yeah, okay.
Wow.
Because of course they don't want their main store to be cluttered with like Necromunda and Blood Bowl and 40k, and you've got 40k
Titans,
and Sigmar on top, and you've got Shadespar on top of that.
So you'll have to buy it from a web.
Because their stores are a lot smaller than they were, aren't they?
It'll be web stores or it'll be independent gaming stores. So
But those stores are a lot smaller than they used to be as well, aren't they? Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one in Oxford's still the same size, but
most of them have moved. I don't think Oxford has, but most of them have moved.
no,
Even if they moved across the road.
Yeah. But the one in Warsaw moved next door.
Bath moved across the road, almost.
Apparently the rent was half the price by moving one shop down.
Yeah. They've done that in a lot of places.
I'm just looking at the rule book for this now.
What, Shadespire?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued when they do more races and more armies and more forces.
Well, they've released, what is it? Skaven, Undead, Orcs, Dwarves, Stormcast, and Chaos.
More variations to Chaos, not very much variation yet.
No.
Well, they're doing a second Chaos and a second Stormcast soon.
Yeah.
So the new Chaos one is going to be the one with the Hound.
What, the guy with his face all burnt and stuff?
No, not that one.
Sorry.
Wrong franchise. You confused me for a second there. I'm like,
I could tell you. I was like, wait a minute, what? What?
No.
Actually, I have got any other business. Have you seen the trailer for Fantastic Beasts 2?
yes,
Oh my god, it looks good.
yes, I want that.
Got a while to wait, 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I can pass the time by continuing to listen to the Harry Potter audiobooks. So
Pass, thanks.
I'm up to half.
Who reads them?
at the moment.
Who reads them?
Stephen Fry.
Yeah, okay.
He's
I
good
thought
at the
that was the
voice.
case. Sorry?
You can get a Jim Dale version as well.
A Jim Dale version.
Yeah, as in he of the Carry On movies.
I know who he is. Apparently he was nearly a Doctor Who at one point.
That's just weird. Yeah, I'm enjoying those. I'm also looking forward to 2 movies I've got to watch this weekend, which is Snowpiercer and The Shape of Water.
Snowpiercer is very good. Shape of Water I want to watch again. Snowpiercer is really fun.
I figured out that by use of my VPN, I can buy movies off YouTube that are currently running in the cinema. So
by pretending to be in which country?
The US,
Oh, right.
because Shape of Water's been and gone from the cinema over there.
Yeah,
So yep, pick that up for I think it was £12, which
it's very good. I liked it a lot. I'll watch it again. But Snowpiercer is awesome. Recommend that.
yeah. No, it does. I mean, it's got Chris Evans, and he's generally good in stuff. So
He is. Yeah.
he's good in Sunshine, good as Captain America.
I watched Sunshine about a week ago. Again.
I haven't seen that in a while. He's not. Is he in that much?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is a lot. A lot.
I mean, I think we're past the moratorium on spoilers, but he's the guy who freezes.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm confusing it at the moment with a couple of space ones like
So,
Life.
Supernova and
I know the Supernova bit, but I can't remember All I remember is what is it? Cillian Murphy and
Cillian Murphy.
is it? I thought
Yeah,
it's
Cillian.
Cillian. Oh,
Cillian. It's Irish. Cillian.
fine, whatever. That guy.
It's not a Tolkien word. It's Cillian.
Are you sure? Because I've heard so many people pronounce it
It's
differently.
Cillian.
It really is Cillian Murphy, honestly.
Yes.
Okay, fine, Mr. Murphy. I'll call him.
Yeah, you can go with that. I'm sure he'll go with that.
He was in it. There was some murder, and there was like a thing where he was falling at the end.
Mark Strong as well. He's good.
Oh yeah, Mark Strong.
Yeah, that's very good.
He improves any movie, but he cannot save some of them.
True.
Well, when you say, oh, I don't know. Have you seen the Brothers Grimsby? That's quite hilarious. Even
It's very funny.
it is very. It's not. I mean, I really didn't think that'd be my kind of movie, but it really is wrong. It's funny.
I liked it.
It's so funny. It shouldn't be, but it is.
But anyway, you can turn it into a movie ramble. Well, excellent.
Kurt, while we're on the topic, Blade Runner.
Yes.
I can tune out now. I haven't seen it yet. So don't spoil it.
I won't.
Yes, Mike, I have.
Okay. I really enjoyed it.
So did I.
And
Have you watched it a second time yet?
I haven't watched the second time yet. I do want to, but I find that the longer as more time has passed and I've had more time to think about it, I'm enjoying it more, even though I haven't seen it again.
Yes, I did. I watched it a second time because you mentioned that you were kind of keen to discuss, and I watched it again, and I found the second half less engaging when I already knew what would happen, even though you kind of guess anyway. But the second half was a bit like not quite as much fun as I hoped it would be because you kind of go, oh yeah, without spoiling it for those people who haven't watched it. But I'd still like it a lot. I still do like it a lot.
It's got a fantastic music cue in the second half, where they're
you mean a theme type thing? You mean?
Yes, it's
running
like
kind of changing theme.
A 10-minute long sort of music track that plays. How to describe this part? At the bit where you see the sea, and before that.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's called the Sea Wall.
Okay.
That's a really fantastic music cue just to listen to as an atmospheric piece on its own.
Oh,
and
cool.
What goes along at that point? Yeah.
Oh,
since we're on to movies as well,
he's trying to distract from Blade Runner.
Sorry, you can have it when
yeah, okay.
We can reconvene on that at some point. But has anyone seen Annihilation yet? There was on Netflix.
No, I keep meaning to.
Yeah, I keep meaning.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it looks good, and everybody ignored it, and then it's on Netflix. So.
No, it was talked about on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's suddenly put on Netflix." I agree. I saw it, suddenly went, "Oh yes, I'm going to watch that."
No, but I saw a trailer for it ages ago.
I utterly binge watched Altered Carbon. I binged Altered Carbon to death. It was amazing.
Watched the first episode of that. Looked really good.
I've read the book as well. I've read loads of his books.
It's the bit where he gets to the AI hotel. I'm like, this is really weird, but I'm kind of digging it.
The TV series gets more weird, and it's fun. I liked it a lot. It's really good.
Yeah,
I read a lot of the books. It does go away from the book a bit, and
I heard that.
But it's still a really good TV series. I hope they make more because there's two more books.
I don't know the books, so I'm going in with just the mindset of this could be interesting.
If you like William Gibson, if you like Heinlein, if you like that kind of classic sci-fi, it doesn't have a Philip K. Dick kind of lean to it, but if you like that more, the William Gibson Neuromancer stuff, there's a lot of that in it, and there's a lot of it does borrow from Heinlein, although it's not quite so obvious. Except the maths bit is just Heinlein. It's not. They don't explain it because it's explained in Heinlein. It's kind of.
To be honest, I'm pretty much up for any kind of interesting sci-fi. So one that's kind of been punted to me recently that I need to have a look at is Mute as well.
I haven't watched that. That's in my list as well.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the anime Godzilla that came out recently?
No, because I haven't seen it.
No, but
it's not bad.
I will say, if you're going for Shin Godzilla, by the way, that is fantastic.
Yeah, I will. I just need to remember to actually buy it.
Have you seen it?
No, I wanted to see it at the cinema, but didn't get a chance.
For anyone who has not seen Shin Godzilla,
I haven't seen Shin Godzilla.
I mean, I like old classic Godzilla.
Yes.
I like new American Godzilla.
Yes.
Shin Godzilla is what would happen if you had a Godzilla movie occurring at the same time as The West Wing, and they met face to face. It is a wonderful
with
movie.
The clever Charlie kid and everything. Sorry.
Yeah. It's a wonderful
I love
movie.
the way you just wait now.
I do. And it's like, okay, fair enough.
We haven't been doing this long enough. You just go, yeah, he's rambling. I'll wait. He'll get over it.
Damn, you spotted my tactics.
Other people do it as well. That's why.
There's two movies actually that I want to see. One of them that's not at the cinema yet as well, in the UK, and there's one that's out on DVD at the moment, which is the one that's out on DVD is A Ghost Story, which I want to see, which has Ben Affleck's brother in, apparently.
Casey, yeah.
Yeah, which looks quite. It's a bit of a dark comedy, and the other one is actually called Ghost Stories, which is directed by Andy Nyman and has Martin Freeman, Paul Whitehouse. It's
wow.
Right. Martin Freeman, by the way, I've just seen Black Panther. There is no way in the world I can buy him as an ace fighter pilot.
Okay.
Or American.
You may now continue.
Okay.
Or American at all.
No, that's true. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the clip.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I will have.
Yeah. So that movie actually showed a film festival, but it's coming out over here in the next couple of months. Ghost Stories. It's like three movies put together.
Like an anthology sort of thing.
Yeah, and
it's a remake of a Japanese film. It does sound like you're talking about a film. It's a Japanese film that's called Ghost Story.
It's a drama horror thing where this like investigator goes to speak to eyewitnesses of paranormal like activity, and they recount stories, and it does look like
eyewitnesses of paranormal activity. So they went to the cinema and went, rubbish.
No. I'll get the thing.
No, I mean it sounds like a remake of it anyway. But yeah,
I don't know. But it looked really good, and I want to see that.
My next film I'm looking forward to is Ready Player One. Really, I think.
Not really interested in that.
I'm probably going to go and see it because it just looks like such a wonderful like.
So is my age making that more appealing?
Culture.
Is my age making that more appealing? Is that what it is? That I have nostalgia for the 80s and you two weren't born? Is that what it is?
Whoa! I was born in the 80s.
Well, I was born in the 70s, but I'm not nostalgic about the 70s.
I'm just not.
The 3-day week. Oh, how lovely. What?
I'm just not nostalgic about forced video game like references, really.
Forced?
The book is having read some of the book, it's a bit yeah.
I've read the book. I've gone through the audiobook with Will Wheaton reading it to me.
Okay.
So, I'm interested in seeing the movie, but we'll see where that one will go.
I find interesting pre-movie release reviews that are from people who haven't seen the film. They're quite interesting.
I'm interested in just going to the cinema again. I haven't been to the cinema in ages.
Ben, what you could do is, because I know you're a fan of Mech, next Wednesday, that's the 21st.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, the 21st, there is a screening of Code Geass.
Really?
On the big screen.
Where?
Nationwide.
Oh, okay. It'd be independent ones, I take it. Or...
No, I'm going to go and see it at the View.
Oh, bloody hell! Well,
let me just see what I can find near you.
I'm looking at View Oxford, which is near me. But to be honest, that's also Magic Night, so it would be a
but Ben, it's a one night only.
I know, but I miss fucking Godzilla, and that was a one night only.
Why did you skip Godzilla to talk to people? That's just
crazy. I didn't skip Godzilla. Magic wasn't on at that point. We just didn't get round to seeing it.
Yeah, View Oxford. It's on at 6:30 on the Wednesday.
6:30 on the Wednesday. I'm looking. It's a lot on. Oh yeah, there it is.
Or there's the Odeon in Central Oxford at 8:15.
My boss goes to see a lot of cinema, and I don't know how he has one of those cards, so he has to kind of.
I've cancelled mine.
Or bench, if you're feeling kind of, I really don't want to do it on a Wednesday. Cineworld Milton Keynes is showing it on the Thursday.
Milton Keynes, that's a long way away, actually.
That's only 30 miles.
Hale and Pace did a lovely song about Milton Keynes.
Milton, did they?
They did.
Didn't think there'd be ever.
Well, it's before it was before they were Hale and Pace as a duo. It was when they did this very alternative late night Channel 4 thing called Coming Next. But it was what became Hale and Pace.
Oh, okay.
Chris Barry, Hale and Pace, and some woman I can't remember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you probably don't search for it on YouTube. I'm sure you find Coming Next. It's hard to search for because it's not a name, is it? So it's hard to find.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was awful, but good.
The amount of random comedy skits searched for on YouTube in this house is incredible.
Oh,
we actually had to the other week search for and explain a damn it, I forgot my names. Famous comedy duo.
Context, Morecambe Wise.
That's it. Morecambe Wise.
Okay.
bloody hell. Well done.
Yep. We had to explain one of their sketches to someone, which is, if you see it, the Morny Stanek sketch. It's where one of them is a paper seller, and she's on the corner shouting, "Morny Stanek."
Oh yeah.
And the other one comes up and goes, like, "Morning Standard."
Yes.
And we actually had to explain why this was funny to someone.
What? Because he'd never heard a newspaper guy in the street saying the newspaper name incomprehensibly.
Apparently not.
Both Pecker.
I think
Not like the one in Warsaw who tries to sell the big shoe to you.
Oh, big shoe.
Big shoe.
Nice. Big shoe. No, my shoes are bigger than your shoes. What?
I've been watching a lot of.
Getting confused at this point.
Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Harry Enfield sketches because I forgot how actually funny Harry Enfield in the old days actually was.
You just reminded me of something else after this, but yeah.
But the best one that I've seen is Harry Enfield, 1990s Arsenal versus Liverpool from the 1930s. It's just fucking hilarious.
Take a break for a smoke and stuff like that.
They all kick the ball and run in a big huddle round the one player. It's just hilarious. What was the other thing? The death of Stalin. The death of Stalin.
That was I just about to go to. Having seen that the other week, that is both disturbing and hilarious.
Oh, just the chopping and changing of the different factions. The NKVD.
Is it good? I was really not sure.
Definitely.
Really? Did you not enjoy it?
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it because I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Oh no, it was brilliant. Just the fact that there's a Red Army general with a northern accent.
Well, this is the thing. The guy, Armando Iannucci, said, "We're not doing cod Russian accents. What I want you to do is just a whole mix of accents, because that's what the Soviet Union was. It's a complete mishmash of every kind of."
So it's
you've got Jason Isaacs there as General Zhukov, covered in like medals head to toe, and he just comes in. He's like, "All right, lad."
Yeah, so it's a Sean Connery school of accents.
Do you know that he's actually northern though?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Anyway,
I particularly like Sean Connery's Russian accent.
That flavour of northern, is he?
Mm.
I believe he's more Liverpudlian.
Yeah,
I like Sean Connery's flavour of Russian. Or
there is a reason that makes sense.
Or his Egyptian accent is particularly good.
Okay, yeah, that one's a bit more silly.
Oh, do you remember the poster for? They did a mock-up. Something Awful did a mock-up of the Hunt for Red October, and it was the Hunt for Red October, but the title was changed to Sub-Russian Action with Sub-Russian accents.
There's almost no Russian accents in it.
Yeah. but yes,
I love that film though.
Oh,
going back to the death of Stalin, if you want a film that is both funny and utterly horrific in its kind of, that's a bit dark.
Okay.
That is Death of Stalin, because not only does it have, they actually toned back some of the stuff in there.
Is it on Netflix? Isn't it?
No,
No,
Not yet.
not
yeah,
yet.
they toned back some of the comedy because what had happened in real life was too ridiculous to be believable.
Mm.
There's a segment right at the start where there's a concert going on. Stalin asks for a recording. They realize they're not recording it, so they have to get the entire orchestra back in. They have to get the composer. They have to get the crowd back
Oh
in.
my word!
And in real life, what happens in the film is like the conductor kind of isn't there, and one of them has to basically be pulled in from the local area in his pajamas to conduct the orchestra. What actually happened was the first one fainted from the pressure, so that's conductor number one gone. The second one got dragged in the middle of the night. He was too pissed to actually do the conducting, so they had to go for a third conductor to actually do
Okay.
it. They omitted one of those because they said, no, this is too ridiculous for a comedy. Let's just make it two. So but they don't pull any punches in, oh, this regime has Leventi Beria in, who does just go, yeah, just kill that guy and his wife. Yeah, why not?
No. It was great. He goes, new list, and they go, kill that guy, and make sure his wife sees it. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just so matter of fact. And the army and the NKVD just basically rotate throughout the film in different like guises of guarding the state infrastructure, and it's just really hilarious.
But if you've liked any Armando Iannucci stuff,
Yeah.
it's very him.
You know,
I'm not looking at it at all, and I'm now looking at the movie poster, and I'm definitely not about to download it.
well,
But it seems like having Steve Buscemi in there.
oh yeah.
So perfect as Khrushchev.
Hmm.
Just it's such a good film.
You know
Jeffrey Tambor looks like good value as well.
the most innocuous and shocking thing in that was just when they load them all into the van from Stalin's compound when they're getting them all out, and that guy just shuts the truck and some other officer comes out of nowhere and just shoots him for no reason whatsoever. It was just there was that happening at the same time as all this insanity basically, and
I mean, the one thing I will say is it does sort of really play about with the time scheme just to kind of simplify the film a little, but largely what happened there is kind of what happened.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was saying, because Mrs. just turned around and goes, it can't have been this nuts, and I was said to her, I bet that there is a kernel of truth in this insanity, because
absolutely,
the whole Russian system, just historically speaking, is just completely convoluted. And
Michael Palin as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, the bit where they're talking about his wife and she just walks in. That was just.
But let's not spoil this for Kurt or anyone else who's listening.
No, because I might watch it after we finish.
Because seriously, if this sounds like it interests you, please go out and support this film, because it deserves to be seen by more people. It's an absolutely ridiculous look at a hideously stupid system, and I just don't know what to say other than that. It is a fantastic film.
It's better than In the Loop, and it's kind of like the thick of it on steroids, basically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, well, I think we can end the hobby section there.
Yes, I think that's a sound hobby section.
Are we just going to become a 40k and movie podcast?
I think that might be likely.
Age of Sigmar rather than 40k. I don't know.
Well, I
just
like
our models now, so.
I've got some demons. Does that count as Age of Sigmar?
That counts as both, doesn't it?
It is both, very much both. I've got quite a bit of demons as well now.
you
can play. You can just turn up and go, "What do you want to play?"
Just Zinch, though. I'm not playing anything else. No, I don't do the others. Just Zinch. Purist.
Yeah, that's your thing, isn't it?
I like Zinch a lot.
To be honest, I'd rather go for them and Nurgle. So
I've always liked Zinch. It's always been my thing for a long time.
Anyway, do you want to sign us off, Kurt?
You've been listening to Elite Cadre, the wargaming, rambling, make it up as we go along podcast. I've been Kurt.
I've been Mike.
I've been Benj.
Goodbye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
That's a podcast.
Yay, what a mess.
I'd say that's quite coherent mess, really.
I've got loads of people tweeting at me. What the hell?
What?
Really? I haven't looked.
It's Rich Dean saying, "You forgot Morecambe and Wise." Yes. Yes, I did.
I like the way I pulled that out of nowhere.
Well, it was either going to be like Morecambe and Wise, Cannon and
Cannonball.
Ball, Little and Large. Wasn't going to be Hale and Pace because we just mentioned them.
True.
So could have gone for Punt and Dennis, I suppose.
Oh dear God. Punt and Dennis.
Hey, they're still on the Now Show. It's fine.
Penn and Teller.
Not a classic British comedy duo, are they? Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear him say British.
He didn't, but he implied it.
It was.
Oh. It was implied.
Basically, what I was doing is I was mentally communicating with Kurt what
Clearly.
I meant, and he
And somehow
caught
it
on to
worked.
it.
Fine, you're on that level. I would never be on that level.
Somehow it worked.
You see, you're not on the level of your brother. So
I'd have preferred to do Age of Sigmar as well, since I've already done the Marines, but unfortunately.
So instead of the Marines, you're under the Sigmarines.
Well, they're slightly more flavorful than Space Marines these days.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on, the fluff has got so fucking terrible.
What, in Space Marines? Yeah, but there's so much of it.
I know, but only the heresy stuff, and they've kind of milked that as well now.
It is the 3,000 book saga of the heresy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
like it. I still like all that.
They're at Earth, aren't they, now, at least? Finally. Maybe. Fuck it. Why are the lizard men in the fucking order book? Are lizard men order?
Yeah,
What?
because they're high magic.
Okay, fine.
I don't really have a lot of. I don't really follow Age of Sigmar.
So, lizard men were the originators along for was it the Slan?
Oh, the Slan, yeah.
Yeah, they are the originators of high
The
magic,
world.
but the high
Arguably of the world as
Pardon?
well, aren't they?
You just broke up
Well,
there.
oh, I'm sorry. It might be to do with my.
Oh, God.
He's downloading things.
He's turned
All lies.
He's
What
turned
is
into
it?
Alex.
I definitely haven't turned off uTorrent now. It's just lies.
Where are the high elves? Why aren't they in here? Oh, there they are. There's some high elves. Just randomly
The
with...
Slan weren't Slan credited with the kind of creative.
No, he's gone. You're
Warhammer.
gone. You're cutting out.
The Slan were a 40k rating. It was the whole thing of originally they were in the 40k universe, and the
Yeah.
Slan were a creative force behind that, and
Yeah.
a couple of them had got trapped on the Warhammer world.
Yes.
It's all pretty.
But that's all
weird.
kind of been binned, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Been retconned,
I mean,
really.
Well, to be fair, the Warhammer universe has been binned. It's now just
Yeah.
like bubbles of reality that intersect with one another, which means they basically have license to do whatever the hell they like.
Which is
Well, it's
sad.
their thing.
It's a sad thing because I kind of liked the Warhammer world because it was contained to a single planet.
To be honest, any plan that allows me to ignore that stupid Egyptian skeleton phase that they had, I'm okay with.
Tomb King.
Yeah, what's wrong with Tomb Kings?
I'm sorry. There was a point where I was thinking, yeah, I'll collect undead. And I was like,
I like Tomb King.
skeletons. And then they just went, oh, what we're going to do is we're going to take all these skeletons and we're going to put a pharaoh hat on them.
No, they still had your vampire counts. You had your different bits
Yeah, but
of
the
undead.
vampire counts came with the zombies. That you didn't have that traditional army of skeletons thing going on anymore. If you wanted
So,
that,
do you know why I like Tomb Kings?
Pardon?
Do you know why I like Tomb
Go on.
Kings? Raiding the bits for Thousand Suns.
yeah, yeah.
No, but
Cool
Mike,
wings for a demon
Mike,
prince.
even fucking Dark Omen, the
Okay.
video game, which
Okay.
introduced me to that. Yeah.
Ben, you know how you're allowed to irrationally hate things?
No, because you don't let me do it. You immediately pull
This
me
is
up on
my.
it.
This is my. I have looked at your art style and despise it. Please leave my home or burn.
No. You
Get
don't
off
let,
my lawn.
you don't let me leave with that sense that I have, said my piece and it was understood. You always leave me, there. You always make me leave feeling like I've done something horribly wrong.
But Ben, you have. You've gone against my word.
Nice.
Right.
No, I get where you're coming from. I don't mind people liking Tomb Kings. They're wrong, but they're fine. They're within their rights.
I never bought any apart from bits. I never bought bits.
Yeah,
I prefer the vampires. Will that do? I prefer the vampires.
Vlad von Karstein.
Yeah, the whole fucking dirty lineage of
Valhalla's Dance Macabre. What?
The whole Warhammer world was so painful and ridiculous in every single level. And I'll be honest, if you're gonna have your one big connected world fiction, yeah, keep that on 40k. Just Age of Sigmar with their basically tear the universe down, burn a lot of it. Just gives them license to go, you know what, do you like? We don't care. Just pick up some models, do some stuff. Who cares?
Yeah, but I don't understand why they had to burn it all down. They didn't necessarily have to burn it all down, but they did it anyway.
I don't think they had to, but I think it benefits where they wanted to take the game. That they don't have to stick within the old boundaries.
I can see that.
But I thought 40k needed it more than the Warhammer story.
Yeah, do it to 40k as well. Bring back the Zotes.
Okay, no. But
and the Imperial Guard Beastmen.
If they're not Imperial Guard anymore.
I have a 40k book that says I can take Imperial Guard Beastmen. What's gone wrong with the world?
You're going to be sued, Mike. You can't say Imperial Guard.
Yes, you can.
It's licensed.
No, you can.
It's licensed. Lawyers are listening to us.
So what's licensed?
Imperial Guard is a generic term. The reason they switched bench is because they moved.
I know.
So you can stay Imperial Guard, but the formal kind of overarching name is Astra Militarum, but you can still say Imperial Guard.
I don't hear anyone say it anymore. It's just
you don't.
The Guard.
It's all over the place.
Really?
You just play Guard. Yeah, you just play Guard, don't you?
I've heard people bloody say it in the shop, say fucking Astra Militarum. Not just even the GW employees.
Yeah, they say both, don't they?
We are grognards.
Okay.
We are the Longbeards.
The Longbeards, okay.
Yeah, we're the people who've been around, now forever in wargaming. Kurt, forever +1.
Conrad, forever +10.
That is very true.
Just in case anybody has any doubt, I'm not the oldest wargamer, for crying out loud, by a long way.
I'm pretty sure that man just has the Warhammer rulebook tattooed on his chest.
And you want to get really mean, we throw Mike under the bus there as well. Not you.
I know who you mean, yes.
He may only be a few years older than me, but he can go in there too.
I mean, our Mike is old as well.
Oh, cheers. Cheers for that.
Start acting like my proxy father then. And
I would say, aren't you older than Mike?
What? No, I don't.
Older than Mike?
I don't act like it, but am I older than Mike? I don't think so.
Okay.
I am 34.
No, yeah, Mike's older than me.
Yeah.
Mike's older than me as well, yeah. What?
Yeah, sure.
Kurt, you're looking mighty good for whatever the fuck you are age-wise.
I've got 10 years on Mike.
Yeah.
They don't look it.
Every single time.
Don't look it. Still good. Still sexy.
Are you
still cycling? Are you still cycling?
I am. I have plans to go out tomorrow morning when I wake up. It's all set.
Oh, he's broken up again. He's become the robot. He's filling in for Alex.
He should do.
No, you're still a bit.
Oh my God.
No, you're still Kurt.
I think we should all go to bed. It's really late.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I think we can end it there. Thank you to people who've been listening in. Sorry, Rich Dean, for not responding to pretty much any of your stuff because I haven't been keeping an eye on Twitter. My iPad is kind of over there.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the YouTube chat. yeah, we'll see you all again for the next episode. Hopefully, at some point. Question mark.
I bet the Welsh will have happened by the time we. Yeah. No.
Probably
In a
will.
month-ish.
So, yeah. Until then, have a good one, and
Toodle bye.
I'll stop the broadcast and then hang up. Tatty bye.